opportunities and being an influence to a good influence to the younger generation and say, hey, people want to be like you and you're giving back and you're doing the work. You're actually putting in, going out and doing the work. So that's what I think Black excellence is: going out, doing the work, and showing, hey, I made it out. Whatever I did, whatever challenges I did, and I made it out, and I'm coming back to.
He finding it. He finding it. He finding it. You know, we all have
But
a little.
yeah,
We have a brain
that's
fart sometimes. Yeah.
yeah,
I can
that's
believe
what I
that.
had.
Like
My
excellent. Yeah.
my brain be farting down. I don't even blame you. Y'all ever have like a whole bunch of thoughts at one time and you don't really know how to articulate that?
ADHD.
Yes.
Not even ADHD, more like you got a lot, but you don't know how to put it into words. That's how I feel like my relationship with God is. I got a lot to say, but I just don't know how to be like bada boom, bada bang, pop, pow.
Okay,
And you
so
just
is
gotta
it
say it.
is it a communication issue or you feel like you need to be talk a certain way?
I think that I gotta come perfect.
You do not.
But here's the thing. Every I think that your walk with God is definitely affected by who put you on that path.
Of
So
course.
when as growing up, you know how the elderly Christians be they look at you sideways for not knowing something, or they'll hush you up because you have questions about things. So from my experience, I've had a hard time connecting with God because like, dang, I'm not perfect. I sin every day. So it's like, at what point do I deserve that relationship? And so it kind of like puts me in a place with my faith is where why am I believing in this if I keep on getting judged by people who's supposed to help me get closer to him? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes. I think especially now in this point of time, we have a lot of people that judge, a lot of judgy Christians.
Like
And
that.
I think it is for them, they probably don't see it as well. They don't see it as being judgy, but it is. They're judging, and God said not to judge. But I say, they have to keep going and keep praying and having that faith with God to say God needs to let them see, hey, what you're doing is not good and it's not being a good so-called good Christian. I'll say I think, you're saying Christians are trying to be perfect, stipulate perfection. And
Oh,
everybody's trying.
that's a word. I'm sorry to interject.
Okay. Oh, you can
Yeah.
I'll keep going. So I'll just
He
say
was in flow state.
everybody, I guess, being a Christian or having a relationship, I like to say relationship with God, followers of Christ. Just we try to be like Jesus. We try to be because you say
Mm.
Jesus was perfect in any way, shape, or form. He was a perfect being, human
For sure.
being, never lived in sin. So we try to be like him. And I say, but that's impossible because us humans, I mean, or us really, we fell into sin and now we're, I guess,
Born into
cursed. We're
sin.
born into sin. Now we're cursed, saying that, hey, you can't be perfect, but how can I still try to be like him and not be perfect? And it's hard not to be perfect, but don't think of, don't try to be perfect. Try to keep living your life and on the way, follow keep doing your mistake, not do your mistakes, but learn from your mistakes. As you're learning from your mistakes, you can see, hey, what can I do better as the day go on or as the day passes? And tomorrow you have a brand new day and you learn from your mistakes and you do better.
Yeah, I could agree because Jesus was perfect and he had no flaws. So I could see why we think that we have to be a certain way, but we learn through mistakes. We can't learn.
Mm.
We're not perfect first. We fail first before we are perfect.
Mm.
So another thing, as a Christian, I noticed that other Christians, specifically in the church, what do you think the church is full of? I feel like people really look at to Christians as an utmost perfect example or role model that needs to be right in order to follow. But when you look at the church, it's the sexually immoral, probably a couple of murderers, drug dealers. Like people go to work because they need God. I mean, people go to church because they need God, not because they trying to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people in the church need God drastically, just because nobody in church is better than each other.
But in that same duality, a lot of people go to church to uphold the image that they are godly because church does not equate to holiness.
Of course.
And I also wanted to piggyback on what Sean said. A lot of elderly Christians like to try to blow all the dust out of my eyes when they got logs in theirs. Because let's be honest, that log so big, you didn't even know that Uncle Tommy was touching on kids. Like it really does like that. And I want to talk about how aggressive evangelism has become. And if you don't know what that means, basically it's just the spreading the word of God and Christianity. It's lacking compassion, and it's more so very like I'm gonna keep on punch you in the face with Bible scriptures to guilt trip you into finding God. But if I wanted to go find God, He was gonna walk me down that path anyway.
Right. So say the definition one more time.
Evangelism is to spread is the act of spreading Christianity and God to people who are not.
In what way? Through compassion and love. So if you seen it any other way, it wasn't evangelism. I'm telling you, like people can only do things to their ability. You can't expect somebody to spread the word of God if they don't even know how to communicate. All they mama did was hit them and yell at them when they grew up. So in order to spread their message, they yell, they're aggressive. You know what I'm saying? They only communicate the way they know how. So you can't fault the person. You can't really judge the messenger either. You just have to try to dissect it.
I disagree. I feel like not judging a messenger, or not, we shouldn't even say judge, but not blaming the messenger kind of takes off the fault of, I know what you've gone through, but that doesn't mean you have to stipulate those expectations onto me, especially if you're trying to turn over a new leaf in my life. I will never be able to receive someone that constantly not even just bash me, but judges me for all the mistakes that I make, because then, like a lot of us young people say, I'm not Christian, I'm spiritual.
Right.
But I feel like that's a guy for just saying that I don't go to church.
Right. Understood. But in a way, I'm saying don't judge the messenger. As I'm saying is, if you know better, you can see better and you can do better. You know what I'm saying? So if you keep looking at somebody trying to find the flaws in what they're doing, saying, or how they're saying it, you're always gonna find a flaw. Nobody is perfect. So if you don't like listen to evangelists because of what they say and how they say it, then you're never gonna hear the message, because if people gonna people,
right,
they always gonna people.
Right. So I think it's just they're trying to give maybe a sales pitch. And I think it's more like you should give what your experience was. But like saying, people gonna be people and you don't know what they gone through. I think you should just maybe hear them out, but it's impossible if they treating you so bad or treating them some kind of way. It might be hard. So I'll just say, I'm having another brain fart. But just let them hear them out, and I think it's your own relationship, and God's gonna find you. That's like what Will said. God is gonna find you, and He's gonna find you where you are. So
He's gonna meet you where you at.
Exactly.
So if y'all see that stuff talking about some God told me to tell you this, no, He didn't. God would have told me directly. Line. Okay, so you know what I'm saying. You just gotta have a strong head on your shoulders.
Because let's talk about it. When you pray, the answer or what you praying for ain't never gonna take too long. It really gonna come by the end of the day if you really know what you're looking for.
Or the Lord needs you to be a certain way under to understand, because a lot of people is hard headed. So no shade though, real. So if you say you needed a car, you just so happen to get hit.
Yeah, my noggin made out of steel. Just
so he may have to do a little bit of character development.
Oh,
that's about it. That's what love is. Love is self-growth.
Little time skip.
Yeah, so that's nice.
It. Training arc. Do y'all have anything that y'all want to bring to the table, or are y'all just the table?
Nah. So when you sent me this, what we're talking about today, it kind of. The thing that really got to me the most was this last little thing saying, you say religion driving a wedge in the Black community, right?
We didn't even get to that yet.
Oh,
go ahead.
So driving a wedge is something that is putting a stop or something like that. And I think a Black community, what is the church in the Black community? The church in the Black community is something. It was in order of Black History Month.
Okay, time out. Are we talking about church in the Black community in the image of what it's supposed to be, and or what it is right now.
What is it
I think we
supposed to be?
Like idealistically, church is a place where people come
Come.
for community.
community.
But churches don't be feeling like a lot of churches. I shouldn't say all churches, but a lot of churches don't feel very communicative.
Right.
So are you talking from a space where in its practicality where it is right now, or in its image where it's supposed to be?
Image was supposed to be right now,
Okay.
but we can come back.
Wait, you got to pick one.
I guess what I said is supposed to be.
What it's supposed to be, then continue.
Yeah.
What it's supposed to be, having community, fellowship, and just order like back in the day, and a lot of deal with politics and the fight for black people's freedom and having rights, civil rights and stuff of that nature. So I think it's supposed to be an impact. You're supposed to impact other people and getting to make sure everybody else around you is straight, making sure, hey, we're gonna do this and that. And it kind of got in some churches do what it does, but some churches, don't. And like you said, it doesn't feel
Yeah.
communicative.
Okay.
Yeah, but church isn't also like a building. Church is like a group of believers that
Yeah.
gather
True.
together. You know what I'm saying?
A
So
church, yeah.
Right, because my church can believe the sky red.
mhm.
It-
My
and-
church can meet at the park.
My church can meet in my living room.
Okay. So
My
I'm
church
saying.
can meet at lunch at school.
So do you feel like the problem lies when you say it's a lot of like? I feel like there is a lot of trauma in the churches, and the churches has built a lot of trauma. But I feel like, do you feel like that's the people? Because necessarily people are able to pick their churches.
True.
You able to pick where you go, what type of people you gather around, what type of believers you gather around.
Right.
So do you feel like it's the people or it's the
Here's my tidbit.
choice?
Boy, COVID.
Man,
I rebuke it.
Come on, bro.
I firmly believe that misery loves company.
Of course.
So if I'm going through some type of I lost it. I was about to go in. If I'm going through some type of spiritual depression, I'm going to flock to people who are also spiritually depressed. Or what the devil will do is he'll send someone that looks like they're not going through what they're going through and really drag you through and through. I feel like as people, as humans, we look for comfort. Where am I
Right.
comfortable? And growth,
Isn't
10 times out of 10 is not where you are the most comfortable.
Mhm.
Because if I was just being comfortable, I wouldn't be here right now.
Of course.
If I was being comfortable, I wouldn't have half the things that I did. If my mama was comfortable, we wouldn't be living in a 2-story bed and she wouldn't be married. I think that the problem lies is in complacency, because us historically as Black Americans have fought so long, we don't know what it feels like to be at peace without trauma.
Mhm.
Like, I think that not only do we have trauma passed down on us, we have systematic trauma from racism, and we have all of these educational and economic disparities that's going on. Like, let's talk about the reading rate, like the literacy rates is at an all-time low, and it's not even just in Black communities, it's in all children.
right.
So when we talk about churches, we got to talk about everything that, like, you got to encompass what's going on, or like around that church, who's going to that church, what's going around in history. Because example, in the 1970s, church was, in my opinion, what it was supposed to be built on, because it was a place where people went to have some type of spiritual sanction. It was a hub for, because honestly, back in that time, all you had to believe in was God, and all you had to do was keep fighting, because you had faith that at the end of the day it's gonna get better. Because think about it like this: if Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and all of the famous Black people, all the abolitionists, said they didn't have faith in what they believed in, we wouldn't be slaves, because slavery is outdated in this time period. But we wouldn't be as far along and as advanced as we are. And yes, we still do have issues, but those issues are in a grand scheme of the entire in Blackness in its entirety. And I think, to answer your question directly, it encompasses all the problems in the church, encompasses not only the people who go there, who choose the church, but the people who lead the church as well. Because
Exactly, but not me not say 9 times out of 10, but like maybe 4 times out of 10, what are the pastors doing?
Preaching.
No,
Sean.
what, like, touching kids, like, you know what I'm saying? But when do we not listen to the messenger? Like, when is it like too far gone to listen to the messenger? Because Jesus hung around anybody. You know what I'm saying? Judas, Mark, Peter. He hung around anybody, murderers, drunks, liars. But at what point do you not believe in what they're saying no more?
This just had popped into my head. Y'all know I'm overly ADHD, but I was talking to my band director one time about, because she's a Christian, and she was talking to me about we was talking about evangelism, and she was talking about Jesus came to people to meet their needs.
Yeah.
So to everybody listening out here, when you're trying to get someone to go to church, you got to come with something. Like, you can't come with judgment. You got to be clear, because if, for example, back in the day, Jesus was curing leprosy. He was giving people food. He was giving them water. Because how can I listen to you try to preach the word and I'm starving? Okay. And this can be starving in a metaphysical state or in a metaphorical state. Like, I'm starving to be accepted. I'm starving to be like, I'm hungry. But you're not feeding me anything but judgment. So when we think about evangelism as a whole, we gotta, I wouldn't even know. I don't know what type of religion I am, but as a believer of God, I want us to better get a notch of, I'm trying to meet someone's need for God and not my own need for God, because I gotta meet you where you're at, because that's where God met me.
Yeah,
Right.
but sometimes they go hand in hand.
Wait, come on.
That was Tito. You ate that up. But sometimes
Why
go
y'all
hand
not
in
snapping?
Hand. I tell. Sometimes God sends somebody. God send you for somebody the whole time you needed them. You know what I'm saying? So it can kind of work.
But that's still you meeting,
Yeah.
getting met where you are.
But in order for that to happen, you had to know where God wanted you to be. You know what I'm saying? You had to know a little bit of God in order for him
But
to
he's
move
still
you.
meeting you where you're at.
I'm saying. I know I'm saying, but I'm saying in order for you to have met that person, you had to, you know what I'm saying? God knew you.
Right.
He know what you needed. So that's why you always got to talk to God.
Sean, you had a good topic. Let's go back into your little brain bank and see what else you got for us.
For real.
I don't know.
You got something, eh?
What, like a topic?
Mm-hmm. It's something that you want to just bring awareness to talk about.
That I feel like everybody feels like they needs to pick a religion.
Oh,
I don't think, because I'm a firm believer in relationship over religion. I grew up in a household of Christians. We always went to church. I was in the choir, you know, I was performing at church. We was always doing something at church. But I knew of God, but I didn't know God at that time. So I love that it was an influence and he was talked about so much to where I knew to call on him. But truly, if I was in church and I was to ask like one of the people about him or something like that, over me finding him myself, I wouldn't have developed this beautiful relationship and connection I have with him.
And that goes back to what I was getting to at first and earlier in our conversation, where your relationship with God is directly affected by who sends you on that path. If you are met with people who are a little bit more abrasive, you're going to the further you walk, the more abrasive you're going to be, unless you want to be different. So I love that you said that, because your relationship is definitely affected by who you are, who related you to it. And I also wanted to say
wait, to piggyback off of what you just said, if it is God though,
true,
he will always lead you back to him. If he feel like you being too abrasive, he gonna lead you back. So
but like
what
you
they said, if it really was God that they were preaching, he gonna lead you back.
Right. But I wanted another thing. I wanted to talk about what you just said about everybody has to pick a religion.
Mm-hmm.
Being pro-Muslim or pro-Jewish does not mean I'm anti-Christian.
Right.
And being pro-Christian does not mean I'm anti everybody else.
Right.
And so this is what I was getting at in my notes when I told y'all to come with some content, was I was trying to get at the fact that there is even division in Christianity in itself.
It is.
Right.
You got baptism, Catholicism, Catholicism. What? Like, come on.
So we gonna keep making religions. Like as people, it's bound for us. We just gonna keep creating stuff. Like, it reminds me of the LGBTQ. all those.
Oh,
Like it reminds me, like we're always gonna feel like we're trying to fit in somewhere.
yes.
You know what I'm saying? We
Again,
always feel
because
like,
as humans, we are naturally communicative people.
yeah,
Right.
So without community, here my dad had clocked me one time when I was going through a depression. The not even the devil. Depression will have you thinking that nobody understands what you're going through,
right.
and that it will have you isolated because you feel as if there's nothing that you can do or say or even try to fight back against it. But I'm not gonna lie. When I just took a step back to realize that there's people in this world that want to see me win. There's people in this world that are literally adore me. It really just like it just really like changed my mindset because if I can't push for myself, somebody in this
do it
world
for-
has
yeah.
pushed for me.
Mhm.
So I just want to say, like, if you're going through depression, sometimes you gotta just go walk outside and
Yeah.
let the bird poop on you or something. I don't
Everybody be
know.
like, talk to somebody, but sometimes that don't even help. That make me
Mm-mm.
more paranoid, me specifically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
Pray about it.
pray about it, but I would say be around people that you know for a fact care about you. And if you feel like there is nobody that care about you, be around something that you care about.
Or do something. Yeah.
Do
Yeah, that was good. Do something you care about.
Maybe I should go major in psychology, y'all, because I have a knack for
All
it.
right, look at you. All right. Maybe this is the
Uh,
first part of that. First step of that.
I like to say, I think religions. I think because I went to Dubai.
I know that's
like
right.
a year ago,
Mhm.
and Dubai is a Muslim, or around the United Arab Emirates is Muslim, and I think
Okay,
you
hold
can-
on. There is Islamic. Muslim is
oh,
the person. Islam is the religion.
Islam. My fault.
There you go.
Islam, and I think you can take some wisdom and take stuff from different religions
Yeah.
and just see how they live. And I like how they pray. They're really on it, like they're really determined and really strict with their faith and with their religion. So,
Yeah.
and I think everyone, no matter what religion, and you just have to find it, have a relationship with God, whatever thing whatever entity you believe in. I think it's just you and in your walk with God,
Yeah.
and that's all. That's really, you have to find it for yourself. And I think everybody's human. Everybody should be loved, and I feel like love is the only thing. You know, in the Super Bowl, I think the love is the only thing that can really come together and really figure us out, and make humanity better.
Yeah.
So
I don't think it should be love. I think, okay, the Bible is a book that really, in my opinion, encompasses freedom, a freedom and clear mind. So, as a person that claims to be Christian or someone who calls himself Christian, it's very important that you're open minded to other people and other ideas that are outside of Christianity. That are outside of Christianity. I think that we can learn a thing or two from Muslims and we can learn a thing or two from Jewish. I think that
Of course.
that's why I say that Christianity has been used systematically as a tool to drive us away from each other because I don't want to go to the Baptist church because I'm Catholic. I don't want to go to the Catholic church because I'm Baptist. So I think that
Mm.
outside of love, it should be understanding because at the very least,
So what is love?
exactly. But you can't understanding is
God
clear,
is love.
right? Again, but if I'm not willing to understand who God is, what does that love do for me? If I'm actively combating against people who are religious because I don't like the religion of Christianity or the people who are Christian, the least I could do is try to get an understanding of where they're coming from. And the messenger should have an idea of who they're sending this message to. Because if I know that you're starving,
Right.
why would I come to try and talk about God while I'm eating a lobster, while I'm eating steak? And now you're looking at me like, okay, I want to have what you have, but I don't. And now it seems like you're in my face flaunting this thing, but you're not helping me eat.
I can understand what you're saying. I definitely understand what you're saying. So what are you saying? You feel like most people flaunt what they
I feel like most people don't most people don't bring God in the way that they understand it.
mm-hmm.
I
they do, and that's the problem.
What you mean?
They do bring God the way they understand it.
No,
and that's
the other
problem.
like, okay, if I'm trying to talk to you in English and you speak Spanish, you're not gonna receive me, period. No matter what
Right.
I'm saying. So
Because you understand English, but
right,
I
I
don't.
don't.
So
So
you
when
can only come to me the way you
you
know,
know, right, and
Right.
you
and
can
I can
only
only
understand
what
me
I know.
exactly.
So if I know some key words, you talking about some guy. Oh, I know God.
Right.
Mhm.
But if you talk about some other stuff, I'm
If,
waiting.
if I'm
I'm
talking,
like,
if you
what?
talk about baptizing, I'm like,
Wait a minute.
wait a
What
minute.
word is that?
Whoa, wait.
You know what I'm saying?
Commitment.
So who do you feel like should be the middleman for that? What do you like? What
There
how
should be no middleman.
so how you feel like that conversation will work?
No, I think it's solely on the no, this sound. No, I
Yeah,
stand
'cause-
on it. You
Stand on
the messenger should change the message based off on who's receiving it. Because I could send Sean a whole anecdote about how I don't like his hair.
No, I'm gonna stop you right there because I don't
Okay.
agree. If I'm the messenger and I only know the way that I was experienced, that I've experienced, I only know my story. I only know what I've been through. I only know my truth. I only know my trauma, my pain. I can
Mhm.
communicate that to the best of my ability, but you're not bound to understand it any way I communicate. I
Right.
can't tell you. I can't tell you. Okay, boom. I done shot somebody. I done killed somebody, but this is how I came up from that. If I never done that, so I can't break it. I can break it down to you the best way that I can from my own experiences and my own. That's the thing. When people spread the word of God, they can only do it to the best of their ability,
Mm.
which is why people fail.
Mhm.
People are bound to fail. People
Right.
are, you know what I'm saying? So the way that I feel like it should be,
It
I
should
don't
be
know. The
on both
Bible
parts.
is universal. Like, you know what I'm saying?
See, but
Everybody know a
time out.
little bit
Wait,
of
let me
God.
get you there. If I can't read Dr. Seuss, how am I gonna read the Bible?
Understood. I said meaning the Bible, the word is universal. Everybody know God in any language.
Okay.
God is in every language.
True.
So if you know a little bit of God, you're gonna be able to understand anything what I'm saying because it's gonna pull on that knowledge that you do know.
Right.
Add to it.
Okay. I thought you when you said word, I thought you was talking about the Bible, like
No,
the
I'm
book,
not. No.
because I'm in high school and people can't read out loud. So
Overstood. Understood.
I'm like,
What I'm saying, yeah.
you sure that say depends? That's a dependency, girl. I don't know.
But yeah, when I say like universal, I mean God is in every language, and people of the Bible got different. Like what I'm saying, people communicate their own experiences. It's like a different language for some people. If you went through it, you relate. If you don't, you know what I'm saying. That's why we got multiple disciples. That's why God had 12.
I thought he had 45.
You know what? He had 12. He couldn't just depend on one person. You know what I'm saying?
True that.
And I
He
think
needed
they all had their different stories, and
different walks of life.
all humans, we all have a different story. We all came from something, somewhere. We all had something different. Cause I know I had my share of battles,
Amen.
stories,
Amen.
things that probably can't be understood.
But here is a tidbit for my young people. Just because you won one battle don't mean you won the war. The war is like the war will never end until you die.
What type of war?
Any type of war, you don't stop. Like
You never stop fighting.
like I see when I'm walking around talking to young people. Because if you don't know, I'm a drum major. Talking to my young itty bitty folks. They talk about like I'm done. Like I did that, I accomplished that, but they never ask me what's next. They never that question never comes. So when we're talking about bringing people to God, yeah, I'm at church, but what's next?
Right. And people think that God is like a best believe God is a one-stop shop. But I feel like when you go to God, it's gonna get better, yeah, but it gotta get a lot worse before it gets better because it's like building Legos. If I built the Legos without looking at the instruction, God gotta come through and take all of that apart and be like, wait, we gotta start here.
Yeah, we got to
And
start
build
from the
up.
foundation.
So it would have to break all of that. And yeah, it's gonna hurt, all of this stuff, but in order for growth, you gotta start from the bottom.
But that brings me back to my point. As humans, as people, we chase things that are comfortable and we want to stay where we're comfortable. So a lot of us as young people who want to stay comfortable because we're not even done understanding who we are as people, we don't want someone else telling us what we are and what we're not, or what we don't do and we're going to do. So as a person who likes comfort and who's challenging themselves to do things that make them uncomfortable, that's where I feel like that's where I know a lot of young people are when it comes to their walk with God, because they want to stay where they are because that's comfortable for them. And just so you know, comfort don't bring no results.
Exactly. One way out. Oh, go ahead, Sean.
So I'll say right here, like today, like just a few hours ago, I didn't feel comfortable. I'm out with my mom.
Let us know.
I'm out with my mom. We're passing out, her flyers, her little cards. And me personally, I don't really like. I wasn't really in a social mood. I don't even like because we put the flyers on the cars on like the windows, and I don't like to come up with people when they're in the cars because that's awkward. Like, oh, I'm finna put this on your car or I'm finna give it to you, and now I feel I feel uncomfortable because like now I have to talk, I have to explain, and when you're in the car, you're probably doing something, and I just feel uncomfortable. So now I have to. I'm looking back now as we're talking. Hey, maybe I should next time, whenever tomorrow, a few hours. Hey, let me try to get a feeling. Hey, let me go talk to this person to spread whatever about my mom, all the her thing, what she's running. So I say get out your comfort zone. Saying that, hey, me personally, a few years ago, when I was a little kid, I used to talk a lot. Then probably around COVID, probably, people didn't really talk.
Yeah.
Then now I had to rebuild my foundation to say now I'm not where I was in 2019, 2020, because now I am a vice president of an organization.
Hey.
I was a senior
Talk to
patrol
me.
leader going through, I'm talking to 10, 11-year-olds, figuring out how, hey, you do this and guiding them into stuff. And I'm still leading around 15, 16 people, 15, 16-year-olds around my age and older than me, leading them. So now, and people make that uncomfortable. And, it's going to be uncomfortable, but you have to keep learning and keep growing. And as repetition, people say practice makes perfect, but nah, practice makes permanent. That's what my coach said. And as
Mhm.
much as you keep repping and repetition, it sticks. So now you're leading and you just keep going. So now you are leading and it's permanent now.
Yeah,
That's what I say.
I could definitely agree with that. But not to say comfort isn't like a good thing. Yeah, you can feel safe. It's okay to feel safe. It's okay to feel protected. But I mean, you can't keep yourself in a certain hole your whole life. If I stayed comfortable, I would have never rapped in front of anybody and got into the studio. If I stayed comfortable, I would never performed on stage. If I stayed comfortable, I would never have my own radio show. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So comfortability sometimes can limit you. And I had to teach myself to practice being uncomfortable. So
Is y'all hungry?
Nah, I just ate.
I'm starving. Okay,
Some Subway.
y'all. Did y'all know? Apparently, I'm pre-diabetic.
You've been eating too much sweets, ain't it?
Yeah. I just found that out today. I was like,
Or can diabetes be passed down? Is that a
Yes.
gene
yes,
thing?
it's
Can be.
hereditary. Yeah.
oh yeah, that was just a tidbit. Okay, what you got, Nate? What you brought? Where your notes at?
My notes.
Mhm.
Hold on, let me look real quick.
So you don't have anything for us, Joel?
No, I want to, because I want to know about you. I want to
It's
see
your show.
how did
ain't
this
it?
change your
We
view
just
on
guessed.
God and your relationship with God.
I mean, I have a good relationship with God.
I know, but
But,
how did
like,
this?
It just
insight-
opened my eyes for me because I pride myself on being open minded and like understanding, but sometimes I'm very shallow,
Mhm.
very one dimensional, and that's not me. And I notice how I'm only one dimensional with things that with things that I know I should be doing. Very closed
Mhm.
off to it, very much. Like I don't pray every day, but I know God got my back because as soon as I pray, it's right there.
Yeah.
Because I know what to look for. I know how He communicates with me, and I know like, oh yeah, that's God. For example, y'all ever be like making new friends and doing talking to people romantically, and you gotta do that death prayer. Y'all know what I'm
The
talking about.
removal prayer.
Yes, y'all know that. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
I've done
And
that a
you
couple
be on
times.
your knees and you be like, "Oh God, if they're not for me, you're not
Well,
supposed to be my friend." And then they be gone the same day, or y'all argue the same day, or they do something that throw you off the same day.
It used to hurt my feelings. 'cause
Oh
I'd be
no,
like,
no, no! I'll be happy because I hate commitment.
yeah.
I hate to commit to something that ain't for me.
I think not just maybe they didn't do me wrong, but like, it's just probably wasn't there at the time.
It don't mean y'all enemies. It's just
Yeah,
they're
I
not for you.
think something like that.
Oh no, when
Or
we're
They-
done,
no,
we're enemies for life.
and God thinks so strategic. Like he's so
Yeah.
T. Like, boom, he could remove you from that person because boom, on May 17th, 2026, the Lord probably needs you somewhere on stage. Boom, but that friend call you and be like, "I need your help," and take you away from that opportunity. Like it could be something is like that.
Let me tell you something that happened yesterday. This is how so I was talking to somebody that I haven't talked to in 7 months. And I was talking to them about how I was supposed to be going on a date. And the person I was going on a date with told me the day of the date that they couldn't go. So I was mad because I was like, I was looking forward to going. And so I was talking to the person, not the person that I was going on a date with, but the person that my old friend.
The friend.
Right. And he said, just go. I was like, by myself? And I was like, yeah, you and I was like, yeah, like I also mentioned, like I always want to start a YouTube channel. And so I had brought my camera to the post. And I walk in at the post and tell me why somebody walked up to me like, do you take pictures? I was like, yeah. And I just got paid to do a photo shoot.
Yeah, see?
And so I did the removal player the day before. Me and that person started arguing that day, and I rectified the situation. But then I noticed how I'm always trying to fix problems that you're making. I'm always finding solutions because I feel like I know I'm a leader. I know I'm someone who's very goal oriented, and that when I see a problem, I solve a problem. The fact that you're making issues for me to solve makes me think that you don't want to be here.
So the Lord was like, "You're overcompensated for a problem you should never
You're not
been a part
right,
of."
exactly.
Okay.
And so that same week, we supposed to go out. I'm supposed to see you, and you don't show up because you didn't do something that I told you to do. I told you to ask your mama if she could take you, and you didn't, and now you can't go. See how the scheduling conflict, and I was like, I was like, that's them working, because if I didn't go, I would have never been confident enough to take pictures of somebody. I only did it because I wasn't with somebody.
Yeah.
Because I went alone and I needed that. Like I needed a time for myself to get like I don't know. Yes.
So what I'm saying, what I'm hearing is you need to be alone more. I'm clocking your team on a different level. You already know what I'm talking about. Okay.
Maybe not.
Oh, okay. See, look,
Maybe
hard,
not.
real hard head. They said his
Hey,
head maybe still.
sometimes you gotta be alone. You just gotta
I'm
be
telling you.
solo to get where.
Oh no.
See,
Well,
look
It
at-
depends. Sometimes
The Lord, I
whatever
pray
you
you
need.
grip him up real good
No.
according to your will.
Oh,
Oh, he about to get you right, especially because we ain't talking about him. He flowing through this room. He about to get you right. For real.
yes.
Amen.
Okay, y'all. And we in our last 10-15 minutes. So do
Mhm.
y'all have anything that y'all want to bring to the, like, again, y'all have anything y'all want to shout out? Who is your mom and what's she running for?
My mom is Donna Glover. She's running for Harris County District Clerk.
Oh,
Shout out to
yes.
her. Sometimes
her.
she be getting on my nerves. Just I'm
Oh,
always
wow.
with her. I always gotta do something, but I think it gave
Okay,
me a new
let me stop
experience.
You don't have to do anything. You get to, like, if my mama was running for anything political, y'all wouldn't be able to shut me up. And sometimes that's the mindset. Like when you don't want to do something, but you know the importance of what you're doing, you gotta.
Understood, but imagine having to wake up at 7 a.m. because you got to pass out flowers.
But I get to wake up at 7 a.m. to pass out flowers for my mama.
It sound good. I promise.
Right,
you,
it do sound good. It sound
Allie
great.
Be having me do stuff too.
Right,
Like,
right. And it sound great, but when you in that moment, it be like,
it sound great until you got something to do.
it sound great until you
Mhm.
go all
You
your.
can't go to the movies at 5 p.m. because you got to go campaign for your mama.
Right. I think it gives me a whole new experience.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
being and not really just being there, especially just being with your mom, just being with your parents and seeing what they wanted to run. They feel like, hey, it's a goal that she wanted to do for her 50th birthday, so she did it.
Oh my god.
And now, now I understand it more as I'm keep working with her. And yeah, sometimes it gets on my nerves, but hey, I'm trying to get this money. She trying to get this money.
Yeah.
The job said it paid good. So hey, I'm
It
not.
made you a great spokesperson too. Like I
Right,
can
you
see it's
want some money
developing
on-
you in ways you probably didn't even know.
So when you get rich, just remember this. I'll put you on the map. No shade.
Anyway,
I'll put you on the map. I'll put
God
you
said he been doing this. Stop
on. Y'all don't know that song by Coco Jones?
mm-mm.
Nah. I want to see. I think I want to talk about love a little bit more.
Okay, cool. I like
Love,
love. I love love.
Love, yeah, love. Even if that's a person to person situation, friend to a friend, lover to lover.
Mhm.
Since it is Valentine's Day, so
Oh,
Oh,
you
you
snapped with
sna-
that. See, Sean got a good head on his shoulders. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm
No,
talking
for real though.
What about love though?
what about love? I think love, like I said, sometimes being compassionate, understanding. I think just talking to people as I guess in my short 15 years, but I especially like a few months ago, just me with love, probably not even love, but just talking to people and explaining my feelings to people, saying, "Hey, I felt this and this," and now I feel like I can do that more to whoever I'm talking to, or yeah, whatever my situationship, saying, "Hey, this is what I feel like. I feel like things are not getting this and that, reciprocated, all those things."
On that note, I want to hone in on the communication, especially in black men, y'all. We got to do better. We got to do better. We got to do better with opening up our mouths because why you
I want
looking
to hear
at me
this
like
one.
that?
Y'all better eat this up too.
No, because again, as a leader, I'm the president of the Houston Omega Lamplighters. I'm a drum major. I'm one of the oldest children in the house. And I come in contact with a lot of young men, and a very big problem that I see is not knowing how to effectively communicate, not just their feelings, but in general. Like, it's asinine to me that the expectations of that are put on our young men in the black community, how we're expected to raise households, but we are not taught how to communicate in them. Like, like.
I got something because I was doing an essay for a college class, kinesiology,
Mhm.
and I noticed that when I was writing, it was talking about how our family culture is as black
Right.
people. I realized that most of us grow up without fathers.
Talk about
So
it.
being raised by independent, strong black women kind of sets the men up for failure in a way because, like, as a my mama
Mhm.
got more daughters than sons.
Right.
So she's raising all these strong and successful girls, but I noticed that my brothers are lacking a bit when it comes to things more than once. So being raised by strong independent women show you it's like the men get certain traits from the woman rather than a strong black
Yes,
man.
true.
And I missed some traits I should have got from my strong black man father. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I feel like you need two parents in the household.
Mhm.
And see, my parents are divorced, but I'm blessed to have my father in my life. He's very active in my life now. I have but also with my dad, I have a stepmom,
Mhm.
and with my mom, I have a stepdad.
Okay.
So
you
now,
always had it too. Okay.
so now, I mean, I'm extremely blessed.
So you get 4 Christmas presents. Oh, you lucky. You get stuff from both sides.
Well, he said, hold on. He said, you tripping.
I don't know, but just saying, I feel like you need that, and with the both parents, and that's essential to any race, any household.
Mm-hmm.
You need those two parents because you need your love and you need something from your mother, and you need that not really tough love, but you need you need that some stuff from your dad.
Understood.
And I guess you can sometimes put one suggestion, put it on not the father or whoever's absent. Sometimes they're going through something, or they had to, they're not ready, or sometimes they're just in a bad space mentally, or they're avoiding commitment.
Mm-hmm.
And now in responsibility,
We
and
was just talking about that with Frankenstein.
Yeah.
And now you have to, dude. Now your household is broken because
Because
you
my mama got to do the most, or my
Yeah,
daddy
your
got to do the
mom.
most.
right.
Can I jump in?
Yeah.
I think that we got generational commitment issues. My dad wasn't in my life, isn't really in my biological
Just
dad.
curses.
Clock that. My biological dad wasn't in my life. My mom's dad wasn't either. So now it kind of puts me in a position of, if I have kids, I'm gonna have to be the bombest, calmest dad on the planet. Like I don't have no choice. And so, like, this is my call to action to everybody that's listening. I want y'all to find something that you can work on, whether it be with Christ, without Christ, or it's just something in yourself that we as a community, not even just a community, that you as yourself can fix in yourself to help your community. And on that note, that is today's episode. And this is I Know I'm Young and All with JB. See you next Saturday at 5 p.m. Thank you for coming.
Peace.